What is going on, you guys? That time again for another TTM and a whole bunch of other stuff mail days. Um, let's jump into it. So I've been sending off to a ton of wrestling signings. And so I wanted to try something different. And remember back in the day when, well, if you're in your late 30s or early 40s when we were kids, they had the LJN plastic, or they were rubber wrestlers. They like didn't move, and you kind of like had to freaking fight them, by grabbing their waist and all that. Well, they all came with posters, and I thought it would be very nostalgic and very cool to get some of those posters and then get them signed. And so two of them came back. I only bought three of them, and two of them have came back. So here's the first one, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. So you can see the poster itself is kind of beat up. It's kind of wrinkly, kind of like me. But these things are very, very old. So, and then next, right here is Greg the Hammer Valentine with the Hall of Fame inscription. So, really happy to add those. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. They're not PC or nothing. In all honesty, I'm thinking about eventually getting them pressed, which would kind of knock out a lot of these wrinkles, and then getting them framed. I think for like a wrestling fan that's maybe a businessman or something like that, this would be a cool piece to have like in their office or something like that. I think it's very cool. It's very nostalgic. And if you had it framed up real nice, it would look good really in any atmosphere. Maybe than other than your living room, maybe. So moving on, I got in a couple TTMs, big ones, that I paid for. First one is the Steve Carlton on this, I believe it's 1970 tops. His signature is $40, and I'm wanting to say the inscription is 20. But basically he has an LCS, I believe it is, in Colorado somewhere, that handles all of his mail. They take all the money, they take all the mail. He comes in, for example, once a month. They pay him a fat stack of cash. They take their percentage, and he signs everything. He leaves, and then they sign it. They send it back out. So it's kind of like a paid signing, but not. He lives there local, so I imagine he just drives down the road and gets it done. So it's an amazing deal for them. Next, Mr. Brooks Robinson. So if you watch this channel for any length of time, you've seen us get Brooks Robinson in the past. He's an amazing freaking third baseman. I think he's the greatest of all time, personally. And he signs TTM a lot, and his autograph isn't worth a ton unless you get it on the right item. And I think I got it on the right item. So I sent these two cards out, and they were out for over a month, which, if you know Brooks Robinson's signing habits, if it's been out for a month, that's not a good thing, because he's normally a pretty quick turnaround. So I sent these two cards and $100, which, that's a ton. Normally you can get them for $20, but I wanted to get these signed. So I'm sorry for the glare, but what you see there is the first, or the rookie and the second year card, both Hall of Fame inscriptions, and then both have the human vacuum cleaner. Stupid, stupid, stupid cool, in my opinion. I've been wanting to get this card signed, TTM, for no exaggeration, probably well over 5 years. I just never got off my hip pocket to pay for it. The card kept going up, 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 and I was like, oh, man. And I know Mr. Robinson isn't in the greatest of health. He's not a spring chicken anymore. And I'm like, man, I better just do it before I can't do it. So really happy to add this. I will definitely say this is PC for now. It's kind of just one of those TTM goals that I wanted to do. And now that I have accomplished it, I kind of want to hold on to it for a while. Super cool. Definitely, both of these definitely need to be going off to PSA. So, as well as the Steve Carlton. What else? What do we got here? I'm doing a submission. If you're watching this, Canadian Mike is calling right now. Sorry, buddy. I'm in the middle of a video. So if you're watching this, it's too late. But I was doing a November basic autograph authentication group submission through Slab City, my Facebook page that my wife and I do bulk PSA DNA authentications. And there was two gentlemen in particular that wanted to submit stuff, but they didn't have enough money at the time for what they wanted to submit. And I was like, well, I'll do some trade. I'll trade for some credit. And we did that. So really cool to have some of these. Now, this first guy, a lot of y'all aren't going to know who it is. But if you're a wrestling fan, you kind of have to be like a big wrestling fan, like a really big wrestling fan, to know this guy. But Nick Gage, not Nick Cage, not the actor, Nick Gage, kind of like a hardcore legend, if you will. Some of the shit, man, he does on his wrestling matches are bananas. Like you'd probably get arrested for, not probably, you would get arrested for if you did it, you know, out and about. Really cool. Not worth a ton of money. I think they're like 50 to 75. Some sold for $100. But a lot of hardcore wrestling fans want his autograph, as I did. And so I think it's super cool. I love it. So really, really happy to add this in the PC for a while. Next, this one was super cool, man. 2017 Bowman Draft, Fernando Tatis Jr. Oh, the glare is so bad. But this is a full name signature. I'm talking the entire name. So this thing I ended up getting, I traded for submission credit, a lot of submission credit. But really cool, man. Really happy to add this. I'll say this isn't PC. This isn't anything that I'm going to hold on to for too long. But I've seen these for years. When he was I would say a prospect, you've seen these pop up. Like I think maybe one or two promoters did this and they had him sign probably over 100 of these because they were all over eBay for the longest. But now that he's coming into his own, you see them pop up from time to time, but they're definitely a lot more expensive than they used to be. So that is that. And then last but not least, kind of geek out here a little bit. So my current favorite wrestler on any, you know, AEW, WWF, or WWE, I should say. God damn, show my age. Indie circuit, anything like that. My current favorite wrestler is Bray Wyatt. And you know WWE just released him, you know, a couple months back. I just really like him. He's a big dude like myself, like little chunky. So I got some love for the chunky dudes. And I just like the gimmick. I like the Fiend gimmick. I like how he wrestles. The word, I guess, you read a lot from the boys in the locker room talk, like he has a great wrestling mind. His father is IRS, which is also one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I'd probably say top 20. So last year I bought the Fiend Superfractor, which is currently at Triple Crown 24, getting graded by PSA. I think it's only been there like 36 months now. So it should be back in at least, I don't know, I would imagine in the next year or two. So really happy to get this one. And this is the 2021, come on, focus. The 2021 Topps Chrome WWE 101 Superfractor. Really, like, stupid happy to have this in the collection. And kind of a side note, he is doing a signing really soon. And it's not terribly expensive. It's through High Spots. And I'm so torn. I think it'd be so cool to have a Superfractor sign, but I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that ruins it. So if you're watching 10 minutes into this video, let me know what you think. Maybe not this particular card, any one-of-one vinyl, Panini vinyl, you know, it's like their Superfractor, any top Superfractor in baseball. What is your thoughts on getting those signed? Does it ruin it? Does it add allure to it? I think it does. I think it does both. I think the people that like it, it's going to make more allure, and I think the people that don't like it is going to be like, you know, I was interested, and then you ruined it by getting it signed. So let me know what you think. Until next time, adios, be safe, bye-bye, doodles.